Well, hello and welcome to Bristol Sport TV, and for this month's episode we are in the sports bar here at Ashton Gate. I'm pleased to say I'm joined by two Bristol City players, goalkeeper Rene Gilmartin, hello to you, and midfielder Carla Humphrey. Thanks for joining us. I'm aware you're injured and on the way back. We'll be having a chat about your injury and your rehab. Of course, this week Storm Ciara has dominated the headlines and has caused a number of fixtures. It's wrought havoc with the sporting fixtures, City women particularly.
It has, yeah, and we've had two games cancelled now in a row, which isn't ideal for the girls. From a selfish point of view, it's quite good for me because it means hopefully I get another game in after my rehab. And it's good for the new girls to come in and they have a bit more time to settle in and get used to the team and how they play. So.
Chloe, I guess we're talking about that. Chloe Lagazo, of course, away on international duty for Australia. It gives her a little bit more time to come back and settle.
Yeah, she's coming back in ASAP really, and obviously we've got the big game on Monday night, so hopefully you might see her appearing in that.
Well, we'll come on to all things City in a moment, but the reason for us being here in the sports bar is because earlier we unveiled the fly-through of the plans for the Sports and Convention Centre that is to be built here on the footprint of Ashton Gate. The chairman, Martin Griffiths, hosted a Lansdowne Club breakfast networking event where he presented the latest plans and hosted a Q&A session on what is to come.
We've always known there are certain core elements of the scheme that we wanted to build. So we want a multi-storey car park on site so that we can increase the capacity of car parking within the site itself. We know we want a hotel, which means we can accommodate events here with that additional capacity which we can't currently serve. We want those events to come to Bristol. And the internal design of the Sports and Convention Centre is now brought to life, particularly with the fly-through that people were looking at earlier. It's now given it a real form, and I think once you get that sense of what the space is going to be, it starts to speed up the design of everything that goes with it.
You've touched on the ability to bring and attract new events, conferences, etc. to Bristol. That is so crucial, isn't it? Because at the moment Bristol is losing out. Yeah, well, we're already turning events away here because even though Ashton Gate is already the largest venue of its type in the Bristol sub-region, there are still events that we get approached to house for 2,000, 2,500 delegates where we simply can't do that. And obviously, as the biggest venue, if we can't do that, nowhere can do that. So you have to ask, well, why should those events not be able to come to Bristol when the organisers and sponsors of them want to come to this city? And what a fantastic place to bring events. So part of this is building the facility in the area next door, is to throw the doors open to those people and say, look, bring that spend in the local community to Bristol, enable us to stage those events in an appropriate space, and get Bristol to be a recognised venue for those large types of commercial events. Plus, of course, the configuration of the seating, which we're designing for basketball principally, also lends itself to a myriad of other sports. They don't always necessarily get the limelight. They don't get the same level of television coverage as the major sports do in this country, but they have a following. And to play to the community side of this, there's a large amount of community engagement in those sports. And you can think of boxing, badminton, netball, handball and so forth, lots and lots of sports which are growing from the ground up. We can now house those events in front of an audience and continue to drive participation. Well, Flyers head coach Andreas Kapoulas was also at the event and spoke just about how important it will be for Flyers to have a permanent home here at Ashton Gate alongside the two men's teams, and also how it will help the term's long-term ambitions to play in Europe.
The journey has been fantastic over the 15 years, from Division 3 to BBL. And we've got to take it one step at a time. We've got to remember it's a process. We cannot be thinking too far ahead. However, we do want to be playing for BBL championships, and I've said that from day one that we went into the BBL. And also we want to take the club to the next level and see what Europe will bring to us as well. And having European teams come to Bristol, I think it's going to be great for the city, really. I think for us that's definitely like an aim of ours, and we want to go there. We've got to take it one step at a time, but certainly the new venue will be a game changer in terms of how we operate as a club on and off the court.
Well, Coach K there, and it has to be said, looking a little bit weary after that late journey home from Southampton. Of course, the journey always takes a little bit longer when you're coming back off a defeat, and that opening defeat in the first leg against NBL Div 1 side, the Solent Kestrels. They have the return leg on Sunday, and that second leg marks the third game in just 5 days for the Flyers. After losing 103-67, the Flyers are going to require to win by 37 points if they are to advance to the final, and that would make it the biggest comeback in BBL history. So not much to ask there. Of course, they're also having to do it all without Fred Thomas, as he tore his scaphoid lunate ligament. Look it up if you want to, but it's in your wrist. He successfully went surgery on Friday, and he's now starting his road to recovery, but it does mean that the Flyers are going to be without him for the rest of the season. But as I say, there has been some good news for the Flyers this week, not least with the unveiling of the fly-through, but also a congratulations to Coach K, as he was appointed to the GB senior men's team as assistant coach. So some good news, and well done to Coach K for that. Well, guys, a lot of basketball in there. Of course, you're here to talk about all things football. We were talking there about the journey home, and a long journey home for Andreas. But Carla, well done to you for making it here in to chat to us, because you had a longer journey home from Manchester. You're a bit weary. Yeah,
it was an early start this morning, but yeah, it is always harder, like you said, when you come back from a loss. But it was a good team performance last night. The girls played really well, and we conceded in the first minute, which was disheartening. But they defended brilliantly after, and yeah, to play like how they did last night against the top team in the league and in the country, yeah, they really did us proud last night.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, you've had some difficult games this season, haven't you? And sort of let some big scoring games where actually your confidence has really been damaged. But actually that, you know, everyone that I've spoken to about last night's game has said it was really positive. It was a really good team performance, as you say, conceding in the opening minute, but some good bits of play. Yeah,
and I think we can take some real confidence from that, like how we played after that. And yeah, sometimes we've conceded and then conceded and conceded. We have got a young squad, but we've got experienced players there, and bringing in more experienced players, obviously, as you mentioned. But yeah, we can take some confidence from that and go into the game on Monday night with that confidence and really kick on from here, hopefully.
Yeah, well, both City teams are in action on Wednesday night. Rene, it was a nice game. Nice game at home.
It was a very nice game. I mean, until the end, it got a little bit tense, but you know, the new players just all got a start, and obviously two of them coming up with goals. So the recruitment lads, I'm sure, will be tough with that. But no, it was a very good performance against a very difficult Derby side. You know, Derby picked up some great wins this season. They're always thereabouts, Derby. You know, they're always very good football inside, and obviously with Wayne Rooney in midfield, it was you know, he moved the ball very well, and we just needed to stick to the strategy which the manager and the staff put together, and you know, we got the win.
Yeah, well, you talk about the signings, and we'll talk about City Women's. Of course, it's been a busy transfer window as ever. And as you say, the recruitment team and Mark Ashton will be very pleased to have seen those new signings doing so well and making it onto the score sheet.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Naki Wells is a proven goal scorer, and it's great to see him start so well and, you know, get his goal last night. That was so important for him, and you know, he's full of confidence already. So the goal just adds to that, and obviously, Benkovic just, you know, probably not. We didn't sign him for his goal scoring, but you know, he stuck his head in there and got a great header on it. So, you know, it was a great performance from all three of them, really, and a great team performance. And you know, mentioned about signing players, we signed them obviously January transfer window on pretty much the deadline day, and we were away at QPR, so it was actually great for them because they were integrated into the group straight away. We were away at an away game in the hotel and stuff. So kind of from then, and it's a kind of. It speaks volumes of the group already that's there. You know, just you know, it's been so easy for the new players to integrate themselves into that.
Yeah, and we were talking about Pato as well coming back and how he's been performing. Almost a word on him.
Yeah, Pato's he's a brilliant individual. He's great to have around the place. He's great for the dressing room, and you know, he's flourished as well since coming back. I think as well with a feeling of a point to prove. You know, and that's not being any disrespect to him. It's just that's what I see. I see a real different desire about him, and you know, he's scoring goals. He looks like he's enjoying his football, and you know, long may it continue. We both started at the same club at Walsall, and you know, we've got a lot in common. So, you know, personally, it's great to have him back as well. As I said, he's great for the dressing room and great for the environment and the culture of the club.
Yeah, Carla, we were talking about signings in the January transfer window as well. It was busy for City Women as well, with two very notable additions.
Yeah, really good transfer window for us. I think with our injuries we've had, it was really important that we made some good signings, and they've come in obviously we've got one, Chloe, on her way, but come into the group and really done well and added stuff in training and bringing into the game. Obviously John, the new Korean girl, you can see that there's a talent there and she's technically really gifted. I'm excited to get back and playing with her really, but yeah, made some really good additions to the team.
Yeah, it's quite interesting often seeing the players when the new recruits sort of come in and do their first training sessions, and I anecdotally heard that a lot of the girls were looking at John going, wow.
Yeah, I was trying to watch out the window. I was doing my rehab and I was like, yeah, she looks really good and I'm excited to be playing with her. And yeah, the other girls have come in and done brilliant as well. So really, really good for us.
You mentioned your rehab. How is it? Because you broke your 5th metatarsal, was it?
Yeah, I had stress fracture my 5th metatarsal. Yeah, so there's a screw in there now. Progressing really well. Actually had the boot come off this morning, so that was a really big step, and I'm really happy. Just can't wait to get back playing.
Yeah, I mean City Women have had a tough season, haven't they? I mean,
yeah,
from injuries.
Have, yeah.
I mean, you kind of sometimes expect the odd injury, an ACL or something, but actually to have 2 of the players go with their ACLs in the same game, I think it was.
Yeah, so we obviously had Abby who already did her ACL, and we were all gutted for her, and then I got injured, and then 2 in one game was just, you don't see that happen very often. We have been really, really unfortunate. Last season we didn't really have any injuries, one long term, but this season we've been really unlucky.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, it's great to be in the FA Cup, and of course Everton welcoming here on Monday night. You played in the opening game of the season that was here against Brighton. It was a draw. Just talk us through what it's like, because it is, the lads play here all the time, but it is quite daunting almost sometimes to just come in and suddenly this is your home ground.
Yeah, like for us though, it just felt like a big occasion. We were all buzzing to be here and have the opportunity to play at a big stadium, and obviously it is a lovely stadium here at Ashton Gate, so I think there was just more excitement. I think maybe some of the younger girls were a bit more nervous, but I was just really excited to play, and it was nice, the crowd, like a good turnout here for us. It was really nice to see people getting behind the women as well. So.
Yeah, I think there was just over 4,000. I think Monday night, it is half term, but it's going to be a tough one for a turnout at any school.
Yeah, of course. It is, but it is going to be a really exciting game, hopefully. Us against Everton, there is a bit of a rivalry there anyway, and obviously we've got some of the Everton girls come to join the team from January, so they'll obviously want to be performing as well. It'll be a good game. And
as ever with football, the fixtures come thick and fast, and of course City Women, the main focus is about staying up in WSL 1. I know every fixture is a key fixture, but of course Birmingham away next week as well. Of course they're just 1 point above.
Yeah, 1 point above us, so that'll be a massive one. It's like a 6-point game really when you look at it. We're obviously excited for the FA Cup game on Monday, but we know that that's a big game coming up as well. So hopefully after the good performance at City last night, take that into Monday night and then push on for the Birmingham game.
Yeah, well, talking about away fixtures, small matter of small little game for City men away at the weekend.
Massive game, but we're in a good place at the moment after obviously a great win against Derby. The group are in a great place, and we know what to expect at Leeds. We expect at Ellen Road, boisterous crowd, and it can work for Leeds and against Leeds. I think it's evident again that Leeds and Marcelo Bielsa's side, they're a man-for-man side. They want to chase it over the pitch. They've got crazy combinations around the pitch, but when the fans aren't feeling it up there, they have they put it on the players. So we want to go there and play our game. We want to be able to press them, obviously, and it's important that we go there, and off the back of it, as I said, a very good result. We're full of confidence.
Yeah, and certainly our away form is the record is strong.
It is strong, yeah. I mean, we seem to go to places, and I think we get under their skin early, and it is important that you can turn the crowd, because that's their, as I say, 12th man, people say, but different places, especially at Ellen Road, they if they get up for it, you're having to kind of suppress them and then try and get into the game. But it'll be a great game of football. I think it's two sides who obviously want to be vying for automatic promotion, and we're well capable after a very good performance, and especially with the new players getting in the side and doing so well. New players, as you know as well, it brings more out of the players who are already there. It's not only everyone kind of, as you said, you're looking at the window of a new player thinking, oh my God, you want to play with her and stuff, and it's similar. There's players there who it ups their game as well, because you've got new faces in the door. You want to impress them, even and you obviously want to. Certain players want to keep their shirt and stuff. So it's just the fighting for positions and keeping your shirt is more and more apparent now.
Yeah, good bit of competition 100%. In the side. You talked about there the automatic sort of playoff positions. You talk about how fans can change and move, and so it is an incredible run at the moment with City. You know, sometimes fans are kind of calling for more, but actually, you know, 3 points within second position. This is the big push, isn't it?
Yeah, and the championship is, you know, every single year you think it will just happen. Oh, you'll win games and you have consistency. You win another one, you'll keep going, and you know the championship just doesn't work like that. You know, any team can beat anyone on any given night, and the weather is an external factor to that. And recently we've seen that in certain results in recent weeks, and the weather will be a factor again. You know, Leeds are at home, so you know the weather is I'd say a positive for us. You know, they have to bring our games to us. We can go up there, and as we've shown in our away performances. So you know, we can make it very difficult for them on their home turf, and I think that's exactly what we intend on doing. And as you said automatic playoff positions. We're looking for automatic promotion. You know, that's the target. That's what we want people to think. That's what we want everyone to think, the staff, the players and the fans, that we're looking for automatic promotion this season.
Yeah. Well, we talk about a busy week. Of course, there's been a few announcements within the City camp this week, not least the 125th anniversary game we've talked about, and a commemorative shirt as well.
Yeah, you know, it just shows where the club's at now. You know, in the same kind of breath, you're saying 125 years commemorative shirt, but you're looking at all the plans now and the positive plans of the club and the training ground plan. You know, the whole city's sporting kind of presence is just being up, you know, year after year. And 125 years to now, I'm sure there's people who would think, my God, where the club's, you know, going and the direction they're going, you want to be a part of it. And obviously with the game coming up against Fulham, the 125th commemorative game, and the shirt, you know, it's right to kind of, you know, take notice of it, and you know,
it's nice to mark those
appreciate
moments,
it,
isn't it? And yeah, that Fulham game is going to be an exciting one, of course, as well, with a couple of notable former City players representing in the Fulham side.
Yeah, and you know, we'll be looking to do a double on them as well. You know, we just did a double on Derby, so you know, it was a great performance away at Fulham, beating them 2-1, and we'll be looking to do the same again. You know, and they're another team who are up there. You know, they're fighting for promotion as well, and you know, every game is a big game. You speak about Birmingham now. Obviously, you're saying it's a 6-pointer. It's only, in my opinion, it's only ever a 3-pointer. It's only ever 3 points you gain, 3 points you lose, because you can get them back against another opponent. You know, and that's the way you need to look at it. And the championship is that you need to take every opponent as, you know, this is the only game. This is the only important game. So we're focused on Leeds, and that's what we're going to do. And we'll go there looking to get a positive result.
Yeah, well, you've mentioned the training ground, and the work sort of officially started last week, and of course it has an impact on City women. I know you guys have been up there training sort of once a week up at Fayland, and it's so exciting to see those plans come to life and the work actually begin, and to think in about a year's time or just over, that training ground will become a reality for City.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Obviously you see the plans, and yeah, it looks really exciting, and it's nice for us to have been at Fayland and feel a bit more integrated with the whole club, and yeah, just to be able to use the facilities, it's been great for us, and we really appreciate it. So
you do get a true sense that you're not just playing for a football club. Now, I've played for many football clubs, and you are just, you know, you're playing for a football club. You go out and you play your football, and that's it. But this is more of a sporting entity. You know, it's quite unique in the way it's put together. And you mentioned the football training ground. Obviously, you know, the progress they're making there has been immense so far. You know, they're already flying. You can kind of see the developments next door. The rugby, you know, needs a mention. Theirs is ready in spring, I think. You know, that's literally ready to go. And you're talking about world-class facilities. You know, it's just definitely motivates myself as a player, and obviously with the kind of coaching aspect of my job here at the club as well. You know, it motivates you to be better, and it definitely maximises opportunity to kind of fulfil your potential in player, as coach, as academy players, you know, because it's a completely integrated facility, the football one. The academy players are going to be a part where the first team is, and there's so much to learn in that regard. There's going to be the players together and the integration of the coaches, so you know, it's a really, really positive.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Bears training ground there that comes online in May. I know that there is integration between the Bears and City coaching and rehab teams as well, but that physical geographical distance, only being a mile once they're both completed, will really put a step change to that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking to get recruited or anything, you know.
Yeah, you did say you feel like you're playing for, you know, to be honest, given the injuries we've had in basketball, there's a very real chance you could be called up to take Fred Thompson's place. I don't know how good you'd be, but Gaelic football you'd have played. So.
Yeah, I would have played Gaelic football. I don't think it's the same. But no, I definitely don't fancy basketball. Day after day, having to play games every day, that's not for me.
Yeah, but you get to be inside and warm, so there is a bonus.
I don't mind the cold. I'm Irish.
Oh yeah, true. Misty cold rain. You're used to.
These storms. No, but it is going to be great, and you learn. There's a lot you can learn from. I'm sure people who are into football would have read a book, a biography of someone in rugby and stuff. There's a lot you can take, and I think the manager's so forward thinking with a growth mindset, and he wants all the staff to be the same. That with the rugby down the road, you can just make one phone call and say, "Do you mind if I come in for a visit and look at what you're doing?" And there might be something that you can take from that, and that's what you want. That's what creates this environment and culture that we have. It's all about growth. It's all about recruiting and getting the right people in, a part of the environment and the culture at the football club, and then progressing.
Yeah. We have touched a little bit on rugby. I know that we haven't got any of the rugby stars in with us today. You're almost probably not going to allow us to escape with any reference to Six Nations. You've been following, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for mentioning that, yeah. I just wanted to say how well France did. They did an amazing job there against England.
Yeah, we've glossed over that with us not having bad weather affect our play, and we corrected it with the Calcutta Cup. We'll leave it there, shall we? Should we just?
No, I want to mention Ireland as well. I just wanted to say how I congratulate them on their victory and that we are going to win the Grand Slam this year.
Oh, he's laid it down there. There is the marker of the Grand Slam. Well, let's not talk about the men. Let's talk about the women, shall we? Because our Bears women have performed fantastically in the first outings. Sarah Byrne, she got on the score sheet in England's 53-0 victory over Scotland. I can't say Ireland, obviously, but our Welsh girls as well, Siobhan Lillicrap and Lauren Smith, both scoring for Wales, although it was a defeat in Dublin. Of course, Bears women, domestically, their games pause until the Six Nations are finished. So the next game for Bears women is on March the 21st when they take on Harlequins, and that will be at Shaftesbury Park. So that's their next game. And for the men, well, they're away this weekend as well as they take on Northampton. 3 o'clock kickoff, that one is on Sunday, but they will be back here at Ashton Gate when they take on Worcester on February the 23rd. That's a Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock kickoff for that one. Tickets all online. Flyers, busy fixture weekend with them for a Friday night fixture is Valentine's.
I'm actually going to go to the basketball game on Valentine's Day.
You are,
so I'll be supporting the Flyers, yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you mentioned you are supporting the Flyers, because off camera we were talking Love Island and we all know who's playing for London
We do,
Lions.
Yeah, but I'm all
Do you
Flyers.
know who's playing for London?
No.
He does.
You're not an avid follower of Love Island?
No.
No, actually, I can't even pretend I am. As we were going, no, I don't. But we do know who Obi Soko is, and he is playing for London Lions. Are you looking forward to seeing him as well?
Yeah, I am. That's just an added bonus, yeah.
It is an added bonus. It's a sellout, so you can't get tickets, so you're going to have to follow it and watch it online. But it should be a cracking game. Are you all sorted for Valentine's Day? Dare I ask? It's my birthday. Feel free to send me a card.
Happy birthday.
Valentine's Day is your birthday.
It is.
Says a lot.
I don't know what it says, but it says something. Well, guys, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us. Best of luck this weekend. I hope you enjoy the game on Monday night. Do come on down. The tickets are all online and on sale. Just head to our website or follow us on our social media channels. I hope you've enjoyed the programme, and we'll see you again soon.